Hello, this is Frida Liu and you're watching The Shift Asia. HOMA2u is a Malaysian online to offline marketplace platform connecting the fragmented renovation and interior design industry and promoting sustainability in the built environment with plans to reduce 7.5 million kilos of carbon by the end of 2024. How are they going to do that? I'm here with James, Yeoh and Pennie Lim, co-founders who founded HOMA2u 7 years ago. So we're going to find out how. Welcome, James, Pennie. Good to see you again, Pennie. So to date, HOMA2u has repurposed more than 20 million ringgit worth of overstock inventories to more than 8,000 homes. Perhaps you can explain, how do you get overstock inventories in the first place?
It was have to talk back quite a long time.
We go back. Okay.
Yeah. So before I founded this company, I was due to certain of the reason I have to go back to help my family business. So during that time when taking over my parents' company, I couldn't really expand the business, and I don't know what would be happening in the next 3 years.
What business was that?
Also building material. We supply materials to construction companies. So there is one day, one of these friend of mine, also a client, called me and said that, hey Pennie, I have this over purchase stock of 500,000 and my purchaser did a mistake and we have more than this stock that is needed, and I need to hand over this material, this particular project to the developers already. And in due to this has actually caused some financial crisis to our company. Because in our industry, when you bought all this stock, you have to pay.
Yes.
If you don't pay, after certain of the time, you can't really get the supplies for your next project.
Right.
So in a way that 500,000, of course, to some companies, it's not really to say a lot. But if during that time you have financial crisis, right?
Yes.
So this would actually make quite a significant thing.
Yeah.
So I just thought of like helping a friend, like getting rid of the stock. Then I called one of another friend. Hey, you know this stock is available and client willing to get it out for discounted items.
Right.
So would you like to take it off? So this is how I actually thinking and get the first deal happen. So after that, I'm thinking like, hey, in our industry, usually there will be buffer that is needed because it's the industry practice.
Yes.
So I started to go and use my dad's resources and then go and, find out more of these kind of resources from the construction companies.
Right.
And true enough, there are lots of companies have a junkyards, or we call it a construction junkyards. They will put all those kind of construction materials in that place.
Right.
So after
graveyard.
So they will put many of the construction things that they no longer be using. Of course, tiles is just one of the items. There are like plenty of stuff. So this is how I actually got into that. And then I told my dad, okay, I would want to start off my own business, because I always believe that my limit is not there. I want to just overcome things that is beyond what I can do.
Right.
So what can we really do besides, focusing on money? My passion is really into creating impacts. So I choose this industry by, I feel that if I can just go and create a startup and then I can actually help environment, I can help society because people will be getting discounted items and so on, and I can still earn a profit, why not?
Right, and everybody wins, because also, like you said, in the junkyard, it's just in the junkyard doing nothing.
Correct.
So now they're able to do that. Now, so without your intervention, right, what traditionally happens to these overstock inventories? So they're just in the junkyard? What happens?
So most of the time, for traditional companies, if the smaller time one, they will donate to like people in temples, or whoever they want to take it, the staff or whosoever. But imagine that this company that is in a bigger scale.
Right.
So what they usually do is they will put it into junkyards or transfer from one location to one location. Or most of the time, if it's high rise, they will put it under basement 4, basement 5. You will see that those kind of places where it's inaccessible. And because this material is considered a non-biodegradable materials, so you leave it for 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, it will still be there. And it will be perfectly fine, except for the curtain box, maybe it's rotten and so on. So this is what our industry is facing for many years.
Right. So James, you've been involved from the beginning.
No, basically, after she founded a few years, I met up with her a few years back, and I found that the sustainability part is part of the things that we should look into. I myself background as a contractor, so we know the construction pain.
Right.
So in a way that we know how these kind of things can happen.
Yeah.
So back to the overstock thing, from point of view of the company's P&L, this is part of the balance sheet that they were never able to take away in the companies. So if in a larger scale, it's not easy for them to dispose this because there's no way for them to further sell this away because there's no other project that have the similar design and things. So this become a burdens, a forever burdens to a company in a large scale. Let's say I'm a huge contractor or a huge developer. So that's where we come in, we ease their pain. Bit by bit, part by part, from lesser to more and so on. Yeah.
This is really, you know what they say, one man's trash is another man's treasure.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? Some people don't think it's overstocked. Some people say, wow, I got it at a good rate. Now, HOMA2u is building a platform to aggregate industry stakeholders and supplement its marketplace offering, allowing to scale through refined matching between supply and demand for overstock. So, what's your current solution? Is this the Pro Plus system? How does that work?
We started with only selling to end user because that time our scale is rather small and we are only in Klang, which is one of the small outlets.
Okay.
After we have got funded many rounds. Right. So in 2021, we decided to take the money and go digital. Because this is how, being a startup, we have to look into how we can really scale the business.
Yes.
From an end user.
End user meaning
end
B2C?
User, just like a B2C, just like you and me, who renovated the houses.
Right.
And we need to look into how we can build our business in a more sustainable and scalable way. Right. So in 2021, we have started what we call a community, where we spend less of the marketing budget and we will be able to get more of the response coming back, which is then the B2B2C. We are still focusing on the Pro Plus, what we call the professional industry professionals, like interior designer, contractors, architects, or smaller scale pocket-sized developer. Okay. So this is how we actually work with them. Imagine that there is this contractor, they buy things at discounted price already. They will keep on coming back because of the community, the platform that we have set in place. To join our Pro Plus member, of course, there will be like discount for them. Right. And we will have our own success manager to follow up on their accounts and do all the proposals for them. And in the near future, they can also claim the projects. Like example, you want to renovate a house. Yeah. So you can actually submit your request within our platform and they will then pick up from there. So this is not like other platforms where they paid money to get leads. This is actually an open platform where we are trying to create a social commerce company where community is the one who drive the whole community and ecosystem forward. So
hence you mean B2B2C is, for example, I said I want to renovate my house, and I guess a contractor will be on this platform, says I'll take on your project. Yep. And then after that, so we're getting our supplies from you anyway, so that everybody wins in the process.
Yes. Oh. So Pro Plus is a new community that we are creating because in order for us to fulfill the end user, we will need to create the buying communities, which is this group of Pro Plus. Yeah.
Okay. You also have the yellow boxes solution. Yeah. What's the yellow box solution?
You take it.
Basically, when a Pro Plus, they want to buy some things, we are still very traditional in the way that people want to touch the surface of this finishing.
The tile.
I mean, how it feels. The color can be like this, but the feeling is different. So Pro Plus is a box that we want to build in order to make it closer to the user itself. So nowadays, we are actually relaunching our Yellow Box 2.0 that instead of just selling tiles, new tiles, we are basically making this a box that help to do carbon reduction. Meaning to say that out of this box that is selling overstock tiles, we are basically helping, all these boxes that the overstock selling will actually help to reduce the carbon footprint in a way. So these boxes are actually placed in our partners. Example, we want to place in a place that is selling hardware. Right. Okay. So normally in a hardware shop, contractor will go to buy things, adhesive, cement. But all these hardware shop, they don't sell tiles. So we are bringing this box over to the hardware shop. Then these people, contractors who go to buy the adhesive and cement can also come to the yellow box and buy the tiles at the same time.
I see.
Yeah. So of course, touching this yellow box into digitalization is that how we can manage using data that how many people will buy this type of tiles at this area, these particular areas. Then we put more of such overstock at this yellow box. And we can deploy yellow box in the many places. Yellow box is a used shipping containers. We are repurposing using a shipping container and you can basically mobilize the thing. If it's not good at this space or this area, we can basically move this thing to another location as well. Be it with the partners or we are changing a new partners and so on. So that's how Yellow Box itself it works currently. Yeah.
And it's used shipping containers, so sustainable as well.
Yeah, sustainable and sustainable. Yeah.
So in a way that our company, we focus very much onto sustainable, right? So we also wanted to grow our business in a sustainable way. This entire Yellow Box concept is actually repurposing over space from overstock.
Okay.
So you just imagine hardware shop, usually those kind of very big hardware, they will have places over there, right? So we would then put all these yellow boxes over there. We don't really pay rental, and it was actually a manless. So our partners is the one who managing it, and we will pay an affiliate's commission to them. So we can actually, instead of like, setting up a shop, after that if it's not doing good, we have to demolish the whole thing, we have to manage people's problem, and etc. So with this box, we basically ignore every of these single problems already. Yeah.
Okay, because that's always a problem, right? Managing and people, right? You have a JB office, and that's been servicing the Singapore market. How's that doing?
We have actually just started about 6 months ago. It was definitely a good step for us to move forward, especially when you are paying $1 for the RM1 things, the same thing at the different values. So we are going to, of course, go in using a different methods of like, in Singapore, right, things are very expensive. Like even like you're hiring, everything is expensive. So we are trying to mobilize people in South to cater to the Singapore market. Right now, we are actually going in through digital only. Okay. But Q3 will be going in officially into finding partners and things like that to move the same business concept. Right. As Singapore is very into ESG driven, sustainability, we believe that there are also a lot of opportunities for us to really go in, especially the scale in land. So most of the contractors do not know how to deal with their stock. They will usually from one construction site to go another construction site, or most of the time they will have to pay certain fee for the disposal. So we find the opportunities will be great for us to move with this manner.
Right, but of course the Singapore government will find you and find a way to find you. But anyway, or to tax you. Now, so I know you already talked about this, right? You've also managed to raise some more funds again, right, recently. What will the funding be used for?
This round that we just completed our pre-series A, so we just closed the round with two new investors that joined us. One will be from our existing investor, and there's a follow-up round for them. So this time the funding basically we are using for few things. First is for expansion purpose. We're supposed to put our footprint over to Singapore, and this expansion is not so straightforward. It's because all the while we have been local in Malaysia. We hasn't been stepping out from Malaysia for so many years. And this is our first time that we're going to step out from Malaysia. And like what Pennie said just now, we basically will go there digitally first to see how the markets looks like. But all in all, after our research, it is a good market for us to go over. So this fund, while partly being funded to expand to Singapore, of course, this is number one. Second is to create the awareness of us in the markets. We are kind of popular, but we are not loud enough in the markets in terms of overstock and shouting sustainabilities. And I think with this fund, we're able to do more campaigns, things to connect to the people that are connected to us through green or even sustainability. Especially if let's say local, we're talking about big guys that have a lot of overstock. How can we actually hunt them? We're known in the market, but not everyone knows us. So how do we reach them? So it's one of the things that we are going to use for the fund. And of course, thirdly, we would like to get more overstock to come into us for selling purposes, because the more overstock that we sell, basically it means that we are saving more carbon footprint. That is the whole truth that basically we are engaging with. And we want this thing to happen because of the 7.5 million goal that we set for carbon footprint itself. So ultimately, this will be what we're going to use for our fundings. Right.
And if I were to say, okay, I'm not renovating my house or anything like that, right? But if I were, was there awareness of your services? If I, if I were to talk to suddenly an ID person, is there enough marketing in your ecosystem right now about what you all do in Malaysia, at least?
I would say that it will never be enough, but people have heard of, Homa, but to be honest, they will always remember us as an overstock, the company that is selling discounted products and all. But our initiative right now is not just letting people know that, this company is selling discounted products, and some people might think that these are this company is selling rejects and so on.
Right.
So the education part of making our Pro Plus, which is currently we have about 1,003 members within our platform,
Right.
we believe that we will be able to raise until 3,000, which is what we are trying to do this year.
Okay.
But of course, having members to join us is not infinite. It's not definite. So what we are trying to do is educating them by letting know that besides buying the discounted products, these are basically a brand new products and never been used before. They are not any inferior products. They are not rejects.
Okay.
They are all project leftover and at discounted price. And most importantly, you are actually helping the carbon reduction.
Right.
For every item that you want to buy, if you remember the yellow company, this is how you're going to make an impact together.
The yellow company called
Yeah, the
HOMA2u.
yellow.
So people have to understand it's not rejected products, it is overstocked products,
Yes.
right? You also have plans to expand to Taiwan and Japan, right?
Yeah.
And how's that coming along and why these two markets?
Okay. Okay, basically when we...
It was in your news release.
That's correct. Yeah. So basically why we selected these two countries because we find out that in Singapore, they face one major issue, which is space. Space is one of the biggest things in Singapore, and overstock is something that will definitely happen in any construction site.
Right.
All the contractor will buy things and they will start to have this, 5% of excess tiles, brand new tiles. And in Singapore, their problem is they don't have enough space. So what they do is that they either pay off to dispose, which they need to pay, or they need to rent a place. But renting a place is a long run thing. And to them, in the balance sheet, is not nice.
Yeah.
So they will rather pay it one off to sell it off. And if we come in, it's a good time for us to help them to do the buying and selling, doing the matching. And we try to identify the country that have similar problem.
Space.
And these two countries come into our pictures. So Taiwan and Japan, these two countries is the one that have space issue and their cost of land is super high. That's where we were able to help them to solve their problem. And these two countries is also a developed country that able to understand sustainabilities.
Right.
And when that happens, it's easy for us to penetrate in.
Yeah.
Because previously we are thinking about, hey, why not we go to a country that's easy to penetrate, for example, Vietnam. So, but at the country, maybe they are still not talking about sustainability because they have plenty of space.
Yeah.
I can just put the things here and leave it there for 10 years. But in developed country, in another hand, it's basically the opposite. So that's why we have identified these two. And good that recently there are investors also from these two countries that is actively scouting people around Southeast Asia region. They're able to help their country. And that's where we're able to match within each other's.
Right, so interesting. So, okay, your target is 100 million ringgit milestone by 2024. On track or not?
2027.
2027, okay, something wrong. Okay.
You want to answer?
This one you take.
This one you take.
I would say that we have to set a high budget, high milestone for us to achieve. If we were to set too low, then it's like...
the big, hairy, audacious goal.
Yeah, exactly. So we believe that, of course, with the right business model, we will move things forward.
Right.
And we are actually currently also looking into how we can use AI as part of the expansion plan. A lot of people will say that, Pennie, you want to go 100 million, it's a bit like from your current existing revenue to grow that much. How are you going to do that? Of course, if we were to use a traditional manner, it will not be able to move things forward. So we are actually benchmarking how custom works. In the near future, we will be acting exactly like a platform.
Okay.
So you just imagine that, Freda, you have a request, you want to do some certain of the house renovation and things like that. You can put in the request through the matching platform.
Right.
If there is a construction companies or contractors or any whoever that wanted to sell their overstock inventories, they can also submit the request. I have this existing stock, that kind of stuff into our platform. And then we will be using our matching, which is the AI, to do all this automation that is in place. So if Malaysia, we can do that. We go to Singapore, we can do that. This is a highly scalable model. And of course, our stock is not going to be just in Taiwan and also in Japan. We are also looking into, example, Australia. So if we have many of the continents, I believe that the 100 million is really not a problem for us.
Wow. Okay. All the best to the both of you, Pennie and James. Very interesting. Again, if you're looking at individually looking at renovating your house and all that, these are not rejected items, they're overstocked items. So thanks again. And you've been watching The Shift Asia.